Nuclear. Israel and America are intensifying a clandestine war in Iran that has run hot and cold since the Islamic Revolution in '79, but has grown more urgent as Iran races to obtain an atomic bomb. They're not racing to do that. All the inspectors have been there. They gave in to world government. They gave in to tyranny. That's the good cop. The bad cop is actually being bombarded from the air. See how that's a false choice. Pakistan can have nukes. China, India, South Africa, Israel, France, England, Russia, Ukraine. Everybody else can have weapons. But the United States is mad that Iran isn't getting one. Really, it's just the public can't find Iran on a map, but they think that it needs to be attacked. Now, see how that headline says races to obtain an atomic bomb. But the New York Sun knows that's a lie. So then they, in the next paragraph, knowing that most people won't literally understand what that meant, that in the next paragraph they say that's the claim. But it's sold as a fact, kind of like scores of AP and Reuters headlines and New York Post headlines and CNN and Fox headlines. Nuclear Iran tonight, dun, 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 coming up. But first, gas prices. And then they go, nuclear Iran, as they get more centrifuges and move forward towards the Bashir peaceful reactor. But the headline is, Iran close to being nuclear. People, they're close to having the nuke, just like Saddam had the nuke. Get him, get him, get him. Saddam's got nukes too, get him. They polled neocon followers, and they still think there were nukes in Iraq. It says, this is the central claim in a new book, The Secret War with Iran. Oh, it's a claim. They're not trying to get a bomb. By an Israeli journalist, Ronnie Bergman. I want to get him on. In fact, before I forget that, I want to get Ronnie Bergman on. Just give this to Trey. Who also deals a series of mishaps during the past 2.5 years that have likely delayed Iran's efforts to go nuclear. Oh, and it's mishaps. Well, this is no new news from this Israeli or from the New York Sun. Shai Hirsch reported 4 years ago, about a year after we reported, from our sources, and others reported, that U.S. Special Forces backing 3 separate Sunni groups, one of them headed up by the number 3 in Al-Qaeda, for the U.S., have been running pinprick terror attacks, police stations, schools, nuclear scientists, killing them, black ops, and now bombing mosques, blowing up dams, bombing dams. And then Bush comes out middle of last year, I guess over a year ago now, man, time's flying, on the whitehouse.gov and says, yes, it's true. We have special forces working with and enlisted the groups in Iran, and the groups were all Al-Qaeda. So the U.S. has Al-Qaeda attacking Iran, who's Shia. And then John McCain runs around saying Iran is running Al-Qaeda attacks in Iraq and is Sunni. Look, they're not Sunni, folks. I don't care what you want to believe as mindless little fake conservatives that suck your thumbs and think open borders and gun control is conservatives. You're not conservatives. You are little pathetic toadies of the party, just like the Democrats who support Nancy Pelosi and her warmongering. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You guys shut that door. It popped up, and that door is driving me crazy. Thanks. While President Bush and other Western leaders have warned of the seriousness of the threat that Iran may obtain a nuclear weapon, little reporting is surfaced in the West on the efforts in the shadows to stop the Iranians. So first they say they're trying to get a bomb, then, it's just a claim, and then, little has been said about how we're trying to stop them from getting the bomb. So now they reintroduce it as fact again. Very deceptive writing. While President Bush and other Western leaders have warned of the seriousness of the threat that Iran may obtain a nuclear weapon, little reporting is surfaced in the West on the efforts in the shadows to stop the Iranians. Mr. Bergman himself has had to skate a close line in this area, in part because of military censorship in Israel, where some of the reporting has been withheld from publication pending rulings by the Israeli Supreme Court. Nonetheless, the Israeli journalist compiles a picture that suggests that the West has had some success in the war to stop the Iranian bomb. Mr. Bergman reports, for example, that in January 2007, Iran determined that some of its nuclear suppliers in Europe were fronts for Western intelligence agencies, specifically Britain's MI6. And Mr. Bergman writes that between February 06 and March 07, at least 3 planes belonging to the Revolutionary Guards crashed in Iran. Yeah, and Iran keeps saying our planes are blowing up, while carrying personnel connected with the security of the nuclear project. Now, again, it's not a nuclear program. That's admitted, but they're still killing these people. And Iran can't fight back in any way. In fact, they've said if Iran even shoots 1 bullet back, if they're attacked by the U.S. and Israel, that will be called terrorism. And they will go on the news and say, Al-Qaeda, for no reason, has snuck attack us. It won't matter if we've just seen 3 days of bombings of Iran. They will just call Iran firing back, Al-Qaeda is striking. And they will say, like they did with Georgia, I'm not kidding, they will say, Iran launched a sneak attack on our forces. And people will stick flags on their cars and drive. But see, they're going to take your pension funds too. They're not just going to lie and say Iran attacked when they didn't. They're not just going to lie and attack into Georgian territory, into Russian areas, and say that Russia did it. See, when you accept these type of delusions, the elites say these people are total cattle. Let's just go all the way with them. They would have never dared try this before. So murdering Iranians. And Mr. Bergen writes that between February 06 and March 07, at least 3 planes belonging to Revolutionary Guard crashed in Iran. The secret effort appears not to be limited to modifying equipment. On January 18, 07, an Iranian expert on electromagnetics who worked in an enrichment facility died in his apartment. The author quotes the deputy director of the Islamic Atomic Energy Commission, Eli Leveti, as saying in a closed forum that operations against Iran gain time for us and have doubtless caused significant delays in the project. So this is just them acting like they've had a covert victory against a program that doesn't exist because they got their butt kicked in Lebanon and other places. You know what? You know what? Let's just skip this break and let's just, I'm going to finish up with this news. And then I'm going to go ahead and start going to the calls because I'll never get to Jeff, Phil, Misty, Mark, Kitty, Gilbert, Dave, Vinny, Ryan, Buck, Tom, and others if I don't start going to your calls. You just read this and it's just complete crap. And it goes on to say they're killing Iranian terrorists, and that's what these doctors that work in the plants are. They're terrorists. And when they kill U.S. microbiologists, it's their terrorist, I guess. And when the government launches anthrax attacks, it's to stop terrorists. And when they do all this, it's for your own good. No, it's not, and they cynically know that. Okay? Very interesting article. In fact, I not only want to get this Israeli on, I want to get Eli Lake on. I'm going to give this to you right now. I want Eli Lake, please, and I want this Bergman on. It's Ronan, actually, calling him Ronnie. Here it is. We give that to Eddie Bear, whatever his name is today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Folks, I'm out of it lately. I'm really out of it right now because I've been jogging like 1.5 miles a day, which isn't far. I'm really out of shape. Just lifting weights once a week and doing some bicycle. Hadn't been cutting it, so I've been doing some jogging some. And I have more mental stamina almost when I'm smoking cigarettes and sitting around. It's strange when I'm actually exercising. Okay, it doesn't matter. What's really happening is I'm losing all composure because I'm on the air so much, and I'm on the air behind the scenes that just everyone is seeing everything now. It's a total transparency is the new radio show here. Kind of the first time this has been done, I think. It's like reality TV here. Let me see if I skip the breaks though, then I don't have breaks. Let me just rest for a second. Just a micro nap. Okay, there we go. I'm actually relaxed after that. Actually worked quite nicely. Oh man, I've got a meeting with my ghostwriter after this for hours and then a bunch of other stuff. I'm not whining. I just, there's so much to go over. You know, I may not even cover this. Just know it's going on in British and U.S. and European schools. know that B.F. Skinner